more welcome you all to
It is exactly 4 weeks since the PTF announced the second phase of the eased lockdown on the 1st of June this year.
Mr. President,
Chairman of the PTF, Mr. Boss Mustafa, says a task force has submitted its report and recommendations to President Buhari, who has approved an extension of the second phase of the eased lockdown by 4 weeks, but with some modifications.
I am pleased to inform you that Mr. President has carefully considered the fifth interim report of the PTF and has accordingly approved that, with the exception of some modifications to be expatiated upon later, the phase 2 of the eased lockdown be extended with another 4 weeks with effect from Tuesday, June 30, 2020 through midnight of Monday, 27 July 2020. Specifically, however, the following measures shall either remain in place or come into effect. Permission of movement across state borders only outside coffee hours with effect from 1st July 2020. Safe reopening of schools to allow only students in graduating classes, resume in person for preparation for examinations. 5, safe reopening of domestic aviation services as soon as practicable.
The national coordinator of the PTF further clarifies the modifications to the guidelines.
Specifically in relation to parks and terminals, there will be restricted access with disinfection and sanitization. Waiting areas for passengers must have social distancing measures. Buses should have a maximum of 50% capacity. And non-compliance with the guidelines will result in withdrawal of permission to operate interstate mass transit.
Is this little relaxation?
Questions are taken from journalists, but with a bit of censorship.
Please, if there's any question from the outside which has no bearing to these issues, please will not entertain them, and please don't ask them.
So what exactly is the fate of the Nigeria aviation sector and air travelers as the ban on interstate travel is gradually lifted?
The aviation industry is allowed to resume domestic operations as soon as practicable, in line with existing international and local guidelines on COVID-19.
There is going to be maintenance of some bit of social distancing on the aircraft. If an aircraft has a capacity of 150 people, they might now be restricted to about 100 or 75. Every time you see a plane take off, there is an attendant cost to that. Who will bear the cost? It will be shared.
It's been 3 months since the federal government restricted interstate movement in March this year in order to curb the spread of COVID-19. Notwithstanding, the number of confirmed cases has continued to spike, making some to wonder if the decision to lift the restrictions on interstate travel at this time is really the best option to take.